So we're live on YouTube, so we're going to go to our shows. Formula 1, we need to go into our studio. We need to select OBS.
Did you eat anything today?
I didn't eat today yet. I'm going to eat in a minute.
Okay.
Then we select our security camera, which is going to be 3. Our microphone. That's it. Now we can go live. As soon as this, I think it turns red. Okay, now we're good. So we should be live. So we have two things. We have the teams or we have the packs, whatever they want to do. So you just got to look when somebody buys something.
Packs or boxes.
Yeah, and then if you want labels, because we have to handwrite everything. So it's going to tell you which one they bought, which pack. So you just write the username of the pack.
Okay.
That's pens right there. Then get a white wall. Here, hold on. Let me get you one over here. Yeah, I'll get you one over here. So if you sell by packs, you know, we'll sleeve it and everything goes in a team back and then a slot. 5 in there so far.
Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in.
So by pack, we're here. And then you can stream controls if you need an action. But so now you just have chat. So I have no idea how Formula 1 is going to go. You can also type in chat if you want to, just to make sure your chat is working. Hey guys. That's always good to check on your phone. You want to check your phone, make sure we're live. It says we have 5 people in here. But again, I've never done Formula 1 on here, so who knows? You might sell like crazy, you might not sell a little single thing. We can open up a box, then we do a pack. And see if people just want to buy a pack. Or if they want to buy a box. Fresh case, guys.
Welcome in, guys, welcome in. Yes, I see us. We are on.
And I'm not going to send on SMS for this because...
Yeah.
You can always break it into 2 packages, Casey. You know how to separate the deal. Just do 2 if that's easy.
I already made a box. Don't
The
worry.
shipping, but the shipping is the same. Everything's the same. Just do it in 2 orders.
So, processing.
That's shipping worries me more than anything. I'm trying to figure out how to do the show in Phoenix and get my shipping done and not get nailed for waiting 3 days to ship. So
Yeah, I'm gonna open up a Formula 1. I've never opened one.
last card is always the hit.
The last card's always the hit.
It's
Okay.
either gonna be a foil or
What's the big hit we're chasing in this?
Max Verstappen anything, and Max has multiple cards. Right now we're looking. Piastri is the hot rookie.
Max Verstappen.
Max.
But this is just base, right?
Right. Yes.
I have a gold in here.
Oh, that's a nice start.
Nicky DeReese.
And those are the car cards.
Alright.
Those are short, so we'd want to sleeve that one.
Is that a nice one?
Mm-hmm.
I like the car cards.
Let's go. Let's start out nice, guys. Tell me what this thing is.
Nick
All right.
DeReese.
Oh, right, yeah.
Nick DeReese. Not Nubbard. AlphaTauri.
He wrecked hard this
Rookie.
at the end of the race.
Is he any good?
Yeah, pretty good racer.
So how much is this car worth? Roughly?
I'm still struggling with values, trying to understand values on Formula 1. I mean, it is higher priced cards than, you know, our NASCAR stuff is not as high as the Formula 1 cards. That image variation, I think that's like 1 and 2.5 cases. Those go for about $60 of.
This?
No, that the one I was showing you earlier.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look him up in comping.
That's a cool looking card. Scuderia AlphaTauri.
And they make the
I'll tell you what. Whoever buys the first 3 packs or a hobby box, you get these for free. Chat. Whoever buys the first 3 packs or a hobby box, you get these for free. Like I said, I have no idea how Formula 1 will sell or not. I know very
packs
little.
are at 15, guys, so that's
Packs at 14.
$14. That's much less than most box prices here on the site.
I'm hoping we priced it cheaper than anybody. I mean,
Yeah, we are. We're cheaper than anybody, even at the pack price. We're cheaper than anybody box price. So
honestly, at
come on in.
$229 plus minus the fees, I'm at cost. So I'm doing it just to get exposure. So here, just hang. This could be boring. Don't get discouraged if nobody talks to you. I mean, you have 16 people and nobody even said hi to you.
I'll start.
So they don't like you.
I'll start talking NASCAR if they don't.
I'm gonna eat lunch.
All right.
All right, do you think? So call me if a cell. You see how the cell pops up, and then you just find the right one. Call me if you need help.
Yep.
And then if somebody buys 3 packs from you, you can give them those for free.
Be good. All right, guys. We are giving Formula One a try. Renee does mainly the other sports, but I'm a big race fan, and he's tops direct, so we're going to try some Formula One for a little while. Welcome in, welcome in. I know some of you guys are out there. George Russell, Verstappen, Nick. We'll comp the Nick and see where we might be on that car, guys. Maybe some of you could tell me where some of these prices are. I hate pricing. And that's what I thought. So a beautiful day out here out west today. I hope things are starting to look spring back east a little bit. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in and say hi. Let me know where you are. We open a fresh case of 23 Chrome. We have packs and boxes right now. I might do some team breaks next week. But for right now, I want to try some boxes and packs and kind of introduce you guys to the Bargain Hunters family and what we do. Was an awesome race this weekend, although great filling by Behrman. I think he finished what, 7th place finish. Not too bad for a rookie filling in Formula One. Again, welcome in, guys. I'm Rick. Looking good, yeah. And the wife keeps telling me I get the haircut. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But it does. They do have lovely locks.
What worries me is when I get it cut, it gets thinner and thinner in the back. So I'm on that. What's that? Feed and seed stuff now, but.
What is it? I need some.
I don't think it works. Although we do have a NASCAR now, I got Frankie Muniz. Remember Malcolm in the Middle? The TV show?
No. I don't watch it.
I bet she watched it. I bet she watched it. That was a great show, and he is a race car driver now.
Oh, really? Oh, wow,
So,
that's exciting. How good of a race car driver is he?
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. He's a little older now, so that's.
We all are.
Well,
Right, Chad?
when I say that, I'm like, dang, he's probably 30 years old, if that. But
Oh,
for a
he's
race
still
car
a
driver
spring
anymore,
chicken, then.
the kid, all sports are growing toward that. 17, 18-year-old starters.
Dang.
I mean,
No fear, that's why.
Yeah. Well, I said that all along. Best race car drivers one and ain't afraid to hit the wall.
Oh.
The old guys hit the wall. They're like, man, that hurt. Don't do that again.
Yeah, right?
Welcome in, guys. Doing some Formula One tonight. We just did some 5-star baseball. But we are going to expand Bargain Hunters here on the site, and we're going to spend some time. So right now we've got Formula One available. We do have some other stuff down the road. Check in every single day. Give us a follow. we'll start doing more and more breaks on this platform. Thank you, Schreiker, and you can text that 619 number, and that'll let you know when we do go live. And also follow Bargain Hunters on Instagram, Facebook, all the other social media sites. I know Renee's even on TikTok now, so. And again, guys, we opened a pack earlier. We got a Nick. It's so numbered. I thought there was a number down there. 6 out of 50. But that number is hard to see, guys. So that was a 6 out of 50, so that was a very nice card. I'm going to have Renee's word stand at what he said, and he said that the first 3 packs that somebody buys, this gets to come in. So the first 3 packs, you're going to get these cards with it, guys. So Striker, that's so, and guys, you can help me out as well, because I watch Formula One, but I still am trying to understand the teams. So the teams in Formula One are really, I think there's 13 teams, 12 teams. They are very particular about allowing how many cars race in Formula One, because they want all the cars to be competitive, and it is definitely a different sport than what I watch. I'm a NASCAR guy, so Formula One, I love it. I love watching it, but the high-end equipment that they have is just so amazing. Yes, they'll have 1 to 2 drivers, and they also align themselves with the Formula 2 groups. So you'll have a couple of each of the younger drivers that'll be kind of associate drivers with the teams. So they really develop from within when you go to work for one of the big teams. Going to be kind of interesting to watch. You know, Red Bull is so dominant right now with Max and Checo from Mexico. They're so dominant, but next year they'll be switching their power plants to Ford equipment. So it'll be very, very interesting to see that change, and can you continue to keep that power going. The big names are, of course, Max Verstappen. Max is the won 10 races last year. I believe he's already won both this year. But we do have some new. Nick DeVries is a new rookie. The Bierman is in the F2 series. His card is in here, and I probably right now he's one of the bigger hits because he filled in for Carlos Sainz this weekend. Had an appendix burst, and they brought Bierman up, and I believe he brought it either at a 7th place or a 9th place finish. So Bierman's definitely one that we want to start watching for now. Once somebody comes in and makes a name for themselves in Formula One and gets everybody looking, they usually advance fairly quick. We'll see a lot of changes over the next couple of years with some of the drivers too. Lewis is going to be moving on back to Ferrari, and we'll see if Max stays, what Max will do. Yeah, their season, Striker, thanks for asking me that, because I do have to look. I believe it's 13 to 14 races is all. But their races are such big events. Now, we have 3 here in the U.S. now. So, you know, the Haas Racing is the U.S. team. So we have, and they only run 1 car, I believe, right now. Haas is, you know, our Stewart Haas Racing in NASCAR, Tony Stewart Haas in drag racing, and Haas is in Formula One. So we do have a dog in the fight nowadays, you could say. So we do have the 3 races here in the U.S. And I hear they're looking at another road course, but I can't imagine that Formula One will run a 4th race in the U.S. They might, but the three that we have right now are in San Antonio, Florida, and the Vegas race. The Vegas race was done last year for the first time, and it ended up being a pretty good race. They had a little issues getting started out, but once it took off, I think everything went smooth and everybody had a good time. You know, you guys, some of you are race fans. I always like to mention there's, you know, when you go to a city course like Vegas, it's very hard to see much of the race. A place like San Antonio, you can actually get up in a seat, and when you're in that seat in San Antonio, you can pretty much see the whole racetrack. So very different way to see the races. Vegas really was an experience, and it was. I think they have signed for another 6 years. There wasn't a solid contract, but I think they worked that out the other day, and it'll probably be 6 to 10 years they'll race there in Vegas. They are tighter tracks, but you just don't get to see as much of the track when they're on the city courses. Even with NASCAR, when you go around the building, you can't see through the building. So, but it does make it exciting. I am not a professional race car driver. I've raced a couple times, but sure wish I was. It's always been my lifelong dream. I'm 62. I think I might have a couple more years left to make it, so we'll see. Always willing to take that shot. I have no fear in cars, but I love racing. I love all forms of racing. Yes, I do. My wife gets mad at me because I do tell her I draft when I'm on the freeway. So, but it's what you're passionate about too. I love collecting. I love, enjoying the hobby. So, I like NASCAR, but I do a little bit of the Formula One. I can't not miss racing on TV. Buddy of mine asked me the other day, do you watch horse racing? I spent 20 years in a horse town. I watch Snell's race if there's nothing else racing. So the differences in speeds quite dramatic from the different series that you see. Our NASCAR guys, they'll hit 180, 190 mile an hour. On those street courses, those Formula One cars are breaking over 200 miles an hour at times. They can do turns at over 120 mile an hour. It's I always like to talk about the differences in those different series of cars. So we got, NASCAR's kind of the everyman car. It's the car you drive down the street. Not really, but that type of car. Then you move to the Indy car, where we're starting to get a little bit more technology involved, and you see, much greater speeds, 50, 60 mile an hour faster car, bigger pistons, motors, everything is just so much more advanced in those systems. And then when we jump to Formula One, we are truly looking at the most advanced, technologically advanced equipment that you can put out on the road. This is where the manufacturers spend all their money really looking at how fast can we possibly make a car go. So when right now Cadillac and the Andretti's are trying to break into Formula One, and Formula One's kind of fighting back a little bit because there's always an excuse. I think Cadillac has got a great motor, and it'd be very interesting to see Cadillac instead of Ford with them, because those are the higher end cars when you look at what's in the Formula One series. Your Mercedes, your Lamborghinis, the high end, the Ferrari stuff, the stuff that you just don't see driving down the road. So that's where they find the most advanced technology. And then some of their stuff does filter down to our local cars for safety, for how we run them, how the fuel works in cars. So when they're building these race cars, a lot of people just think, well, you're just going to have to race. They're really not. They are looking at technology of how can we make these vehicles better, and how can we pass that down and make all vehicles better. We can sell by the pack. We can sell by the box, guys. I know I'm not that exciting to listen to talk about racing, but I live for racing. There are autos. The autos in this are more limited. So we do look out for chrome autographs, but I think they average about 4 to 5 in a case is what I've been seeing. Formula One, you really are looking for no mem cards. You are looking for the numbered cards and the colored cards. Now, one thing with Formula One, when you have these smaller amount of drivers, Max being our biggest it and a couple of rookies, there are 2 or 3 cards of each one. So they're 200 card set with the cars, drivers, Formula 2. But you get a couple nice chances at some of those big name drivers that can hit you with color or possibly autographs. Right now, some of the F2 autographs I've seen come are pretty neat because they are going to be guys that are going to transition up from Formula 2 to Formula 1. So, a lot coming down the road. I would like to see the Texas race this year, but I'm not quite sure. Did not want to go to Vegas and knew that was going to be a mess last year, but Vegas is always so. F2 is really like the minor league baseball system for F1. They develop the drivers. NASCAR kind of uses 3 series to do that, 4 really, ARCA included. But you want to develop drivers, and nobody can just jump into an F1 car and be able to be competitive. So they really have formed this F2 program to be one of those, the next competitive step. So you'll come through, I think there's other series, especially in Europe. There are so many series for the kids to be able to move into, and now we see these young drivers at 16 and 17 years old that are able to go be competitive that day and jump right into a car. Some of you may have seen the movie, Gran Turismo, about the young man that was an iRacer, got an opportunity to get in a car, and that truly does happen. This year, William Byron won the Daytona 500 for Rick Hendrick. 6 years ago, he'd never been in a race car in his life. He learned how to drive on computers. So that's a whole new thing that we're seeing in racing. These young kids are able to start at 5 or 6 years old on the computer because they don't tear up equipment. They don't have to go out there and spend all that extra money. So it's a real change. You're starting to really see some of these kids come in at 18 years old and be as competitive as anybody, and that was never true in any form of racing. Now, I do have to share this as well for this weekend. Something happened in Phoenix this weekend with the ARCA series. That's our NASCAR, the small series, but as far as I know, I've been looking and I can't find any difference, but we had 3 female drivers finish in the top 15, 2 in the top 10. I believe that's the first time that's happened in any form of motorsports in the world. And these are very competitive cars, so awesome to see some of the young ladies and coming up. And well, so if Striker, if you watch that Gran Turismo, that was very interesting. When that kid got into a car and had a wreck, it really did mess with him, because it, when you're hitting a car on the computer, you don't feel it. But I have actually been in a race car, and when you are in a 5-point harness and you hit something, nothing moves. Your body is tight in the seat. It's anchored in there with 5-point harness. So your teeth might move, but that's about it. So you can imagine when you hit a wall for the first time, it's probably a feeling that you don't forget. And they are the young kids who have not had a lot of. We have a couple girls, ladies that are doing very well in racing. The one young girl, and I forget her name, it was the first race she made in Phoenix this year. She was a high school field goal kicker in her high school. Was a new high school. She's got the first field goal at her high school, so was very good at it. And then she got in racing, and this was her first ARCA race, and she finished in 6th. So kind of neat. Anybody can drive cars. I've said that forever. It's so ARCA is very entry level, Schreiker. That's where the really beginning drivers are. But it is a nationally recognized series, so at least they're when they're getting into that start, then they're really starting to take those steps. Usually from there they progress into trucks or Xfinity. Coach Gibbs, Joe Gibbs, the coach for the Redskins, his grandson went through the ARCA route and was much better than anybody thought he would be, so he jumped straight from ARCA to Xfinity. He's now a Cup driver 2 years later at 21 years old. And has been able to drive as good as his competition at every level. So very interesting to see the young kids do this. I'm old, man. I used to watch the guys, Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Walter, you know, some of the old Formula One guys. I mean, it took you forever to get that ride. You usually didn't get your championship till you were 40, 45 years old. Now we're seeing big changes in the guard. It's kind of neat. Probably the major difference is the car design. So a NASCAR body striker is a covered. NASCAR, I say, is kind of like what you see driving down the road. You know, it's definitely built in a shop, and they're not exactly, but it's your Toyota Camry, your Chevy Monte Carlos. That's what they are. Indy, they are a little bit, you know, they're open cockpit, open wheel, nothing over the wheels. They have the big wings. The IndyCar motors get a little bigger. Then all of a sudden you get into those Formula One cars, and they are a beast of their own. They really have all the technology that you can imagine. Steering help, boosters. They're just everything there is about technology. Sometimes I wonder how hard it have to be to watch all the things that function in an F1 car at the same time. So they are, and so if any of you guys watch this weekend's race, and I can't remember, I thought it was DeVries that had the wreck at the end of the race. I actually reposted that on TikTok, but they have telemetry in the cars that they actually know everything that's going on in the car. So they can tell if the driver's not giving enough gas or using too much, or they can change the air mixture and the fuel mixture while they're driving. They can tune the brakes. There's so many things that they can do from the cockpit. And the teams are all sitting there watching all the telemetry. The young guy wrecked this weekend on the last lap, and he said, I'm done, I'm into the wall. And they said, well, can you drive it back? And he said, no, I'm in the wall. And he cussed, but he said, I'm in the wall. So it was, you know, his car was totaled, but it was funny because one of the announcers was like, couldn't the guys watching telemetry tell that the car was a dead stop? You know, Striker, that's what I worry about. Don't say that. Don't, please. I worry about that in my Dodge Ram, somebody taking over me and remote controlling me one day. So, yeah, I definitely worry about the computers in the cars. But, well, and, you know, we do have the driving cars now. I'm an investor in a couple of electric car companies, and I have no idea why I did it, but, you know, they have driverless cars now. And I know some guys say things about the pew-pew laws or poo-poo law, you know, them things you squeeze the trigger on. To me, he'll never take my steering wheel out of my hand. I will die with a steering wheel. There ain't no car going to drive itself when I'm in it. Yeah, we're getting close to being sold out. I think I'm going to have to buy all them packs. I may have to go hit a couple of my buddies up and tell them to come see me. Well, I know I do have a couple of you guys out there, and please say hi. I know you're watching. We can tell. So, alright, so Renee does want me to open a pack. Renee, did you see that car? We didn't see that. Man, that number is really hard to see. That Rise car was a 6 out of 50. I don't even think we could see that on the camera. There it is. Wow, that's hard to see. Man. That was a very nice hit. Alright, so we're going to open a pack. Alright. You want to pick it? That one's going to go in your cup. Okay. Make a label. Alright. Oh, I've got a label. Gotta put my glasses glasses back on, guys. Box 1, pack 1. Right or left? Right. Bottom 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's in the middle. That one good for you, sir? Alright. Let's see what we've got here. Let's pull this autograph out and we'll get you other guys excited. Come on, let's go. Alright, well, let's see. We've got Vesture, F2 driver, and he is one of the more successful F2 drivers. We've got a Supermax Award winner again. Max, everybody likes Max. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. And our refractor is the Camber, and these are short print. F1 Michael Schumacher, the champ Michael Schumacher. No auto for an hay. The biggest things we're looking for is going to be color Max. The rookies are going to be big, but right now Max is the man. You definitely want to get the Max cards. His color. This Schumacher, I would have to look. The Schumacher's a nice card. But the other three were definitely base. No, we do have 3 rookies. I've got to look up that other kid's name. We do have 3 rookies that are in Formula One now, so they are the big ones. But right now, with that Bierman having the kind of run he had, I think everybody is really looking for the Bierman cards. Those are team set bag. You know, so I haven't seen them do that in Formula One. They do that in NASCAR. Whenever they switch to a different series, they do make it a new rookie card, and I don't like that. I think your rookie card's your rookie card. Should be your first card made. With these guys, I'm pretty sure I've seen only the F2 cards as rookies. So it always throws me. I don't like that when they make the multiple rookie cards. You can't be a rookie 4 years in a row. Oh yeah, it's now the one thing that autographs are less in Formula One, but that also makes them more valuable in Formula One. Formula One drivers are very difficult to get. They sign at the races, but they are so popular because there's so few of them. The crowds are usually overwhelming to try to get autographs from them. So Formula One autographs are very, very difficult to get. Now I think they come usually about every 2 boxes you see one. Yeah, they're much rarer than, when we sell a NASCAR box, it's 3 to 4 autographs per box are guaranteed, or a redemption. But if you think about that, there's so many NASCAR drivers compared to the amount of Formula One drivers there are. So, that limits the numbers as well. If you only have, 15, 16 guys that you're looking for their autographs, it's definitely harder to get to those guys. I go to a NASCAR race, Vegas last year. I went and there were 46 different drivers that I got autographs from. So it's just a lot more. You know, they do the pit crew cards, owner cards. Those aren't as collected, and what's funny to me is I actually believe that the crew, especially the crew chiefs, the head engineers, those are the guys that build the car, make the car run. So I've always found it funny that we don't collect their autographs or pay that much attention to them. Kind of like the coach on the football team. You know, without them, you're not going to make it. But yeah, kickers, yeah. Well, I would say the kickers are probably the tire changers. You know, I really don't want to see the tire change. And Formula One, you don't see a lot of crew cards because there are so many people on the crew. When you see a Formula One crew card, it's usually 300 people in a group. You know, rarely will you see a group crew card. I mean, NASCAR, they're saying that we're getting quicker with our pit stops, but we're at 13, 14 seconds. Formula One, they're sweating if they're in there for 3 seconds to change 4 tires. It's pretty amazing how quickly they can service and change that car, but they have 40 guys come out on the crew to do it. You know, they, I don't know, I actually don't think they bring backup cards. Yeah, he's getting old. Man, that beard grew long, quick. Dragon. But they bring pieces. So that's the Traeger, their pieces, their cars, like if they bang up the front end and break the front wing, there's an attachment. They pull a button, pull the whole wing off, replace it. So they do a lot of that, but once you mess up the wheels and stuff, driveline, you're dead meat with those. They can touch a little bit, but very, very bad news if you start banging those cars around. They're open wheels, so you bust the tires pretty easy. You know, it's been a little while, thankfully, Schreiker. It's we're learning. You know, that is the one thing that does. Yeah, Santa was, I believe, the last. We and Earnhardt was the last in NASCAR. We finally started learning. I went through the 90s in NASCAR where we were losing a driver every year. I used to not like to watch Indy because it was just, you knew somebody was going to get hurt bad or die. That's not really why we do sports. So I'm glad that we are so much safer in all the sports. I mean, when Senna died, they now attach the wheels and the things that they've come up with in Formula One to make those cars safe. The open cockpits were always more dangerous because things could fly through the air, and that's one of the strangest feelings. So I have raced on a late model stock in Spanaway, Washington, and I did take the driver racing school in Laguna Seca, and those are Indy style cars, the same body type as in a Formula One or Indy cars, and pretty scary. I mean, the wind alone feeling it in your face. I took the school when it was raining. Rain beats your face. It's really surprising how much you get hit in an open cockpit. So they've come up with so many safety features now to strap the tires so they can't come back into the cockpit. There's so many parts have been taken off cars that could get to guys. Oh yeah, even at 75 with no face mask, starts to sting a little bit. But those guys, they in Formula One they have the full helmets. We've went to full helmets and so many safety features in these cars now that it's a blessing. It really is. I never wanted to see drivers get hurt or killed. It's not what it's about. So, but I do like a good wreck once in a while. Yeah, say hi, guys. I know a couple of you on here, unless I got 14 ghosts following me, which I may have. And I know you guys can tell me about some Formula One stuff too. I'm not an expert on Formula One. And I know on some streams I do NASCAR, and I know sometimes you guys get a little upset with different breakers coming in on your territory, but just want to expand the hobby. My favorite F1 story is about cards, and it was from 3 years ago. When I closed down my shop and I put all my stuff away years ago. Had a sports card shop, and I really still did racing. I watch all forms of racing. I still collected NASCAR. Hadn't done a lot with Formula One collecting, a little bit, but I did have some cards from the 70s. In the 70s, they made sugar daddies, the little candy. Well, we still make them, but the sugar daddy was the candy bar with a stick. It was caramel, but they made a card set of. There were zoo animals, there were race cars, there were trucks, there were all kind of things in this set, and they put them on the candy bars. When I did my first show, I think it was 3 years ago in Del Mar, everybody was asking for Formula One. So I went home that night and I dug out a Jackie Stewart Ferrari Championship Formula One card from 1974. Card was in perfect condition, beautiful card. Came on a candy bar and it didn't get stuck. The value of that card was $25 in perfect shape, but it made the whole weekend fun. People looking at it, because as soon as they'd ask for Formula One, I'd show them, and they didn't want anything to do with that card, but it was so interesting, the history of it. Was Jackie Stewart, a Ferrari card from 1974. So sometimes we forget our sports aren't brand new. Formula One has been around for a long time. I would have to look, but I would say back in the 20s and 30s when they first started building cars, they were racing. One of the oldest series there are. NASCAR is one of the younger series. Yes, they were long. In fact, Indy was around the 19s. Yes, thank you. Gordon fan, welcome back in. Yeah, and I believe I'm pretty sure that they were racing Formula One before that. Our NASCAR guys were, we say 75 years ago we started. I'm okay with that because I'm not quite that old, but I think I was around when they started. So hope they got the date right. They don't. So Formula One is very picky about who they let in to their sport. Right now, the Andretti's, which, if you know the Andretti name, I mean, that is kind of synonymous with Formula One and Indy cars. They would like to bring Cadillac to Formula One. Formula One told them, well, I'm sorry, you guys will need to bring 1950. Boy, that does not... And Gordon fan, I'm going to take your... That's 1950 is when Formula One started. I would have thought it was earlier than that. So Indy is, by far, they've been racing Indy longer than Formula One. But the Andretti's, with their great name and stuff, Formula One has not really been real open-armed on letting them come in. And they do want to keep a smaller amount of teams because you want everybody to be competitive. Just because you say you can build a car doesn't mean you can compete in it. So they really have, in my opinion, they've been dragging the Andretti's over the coals. Hey, we want $50 billion. Hey, well, here's your $50 billion. What else do you want? But I don't know. Andretti wants to bring Cadillac. Cadillac's got great motors, and right now on the 24-hour races, the Cadillac motors are pretty strong. So I'm thinking they just don't want another American manufacturer in there. No, so everybody that can make the race can make the race. No, Gordon fan, I will bet you money that it's going to be Honda will be the next NASCAR entry. I was kind of hoping Dodge is coming, so Tony Stewart, which Tony made his debut No, I think we'll keep Chevy. I think we'll keep the manufacturers, but NASCAR has 4 open charters for a new manufacturer in Phoenix at the championship, and at the championship banquet, and at Daytona. Honda had hospitality booths. So NASCAR has been courting Honda to come. I was kind of hoping Tony might bring Dodge in, and then they could split. You know, if Tony comes in, he may just switch his team, but they have 4 spots for new manufacturers coming in. It looks like it's probably going to be Honda. I don't know whether they'll use all 4 or not. Whether it'll be a team that switches to Honda or just a new group comes in. But it does look like it's going to be Honda, and I would almost bet you that if Honda comes to NASCAR, they'll be done with Indy, which will really hurt the Indy series. I keep hoping Dodge will come back. With Tony being so involved with Dodge, that would be an easy transition for him to bring them back in with his franchises and just switch to Dodge. I'm a Dodge guy, so that's my dream come true. Yeah, I mean, he's running their power, and you know he's not real happy with Ford right now. Electric is going to be 3 years down the road, but right now they have a Formula E series over in Europe. They are right now running an electric car series in Europe. That's the Formula E series. Instead of pit stops, you come in for a charging stop. They spend about 10 or 15 minutes charging the car, and they go back out and race. I'm not opposed to it, but I also don't think we're going to replace. You know, I think we'll co-compete in the world. Now with Dodge, I really believe that Dodge will come. Dodge made the announcement that they would not go full electric motors with their Charger. So if you're not making an electric car right now, the only way you can really sell your cars is to race them. So Dodge is going to have to start racing that Charger somewhere. Hopefully it'll be in NASCAR. But we'll see. Nobody knows. I'm interested to see. I would really like to see Andretti's make the Cadillac into the Indy cars. Now, in 2 years, IndyCar is going through a complete transition with their car style and body. So that's one of the issues that they're having with Cadillac right now. They're saying, well, can you guys be ready to... He's eating. He finally got some dinner tonight. And hiding in a NASCAR prison back there. Yeah. No NASCAR here. Soon. We will do National Treasures for sure. If it comes out. If it comes out, guys. Let me tell you that. If it comes out. So it was good race this weekend at the Formula One race. I'd love to have been able to see the whole race. I got it recorded. I'm going to finish it up probably tonight. But very impressive. Bierman stepping up from F2. Yes, I'm a NASCAR fan. So, guys, I say it all the time. If you collect what you're passionate about. You know, I went to races when I was 6 years old. My dad took me to NASCAR races. So I've spent my whole life being passionate about NASCAR. I like my baseball and my other sports, but my passion for my collection, that comes to NASCAR. And I encourage you all to do that. I want to see more collectors and less investors. No, you know, I can't pronounce all the Formula One names because there's not that many of them. Oh, that Schreiker, I meant to bring it tonight too. I picked up a couple packs of Japanese baseball cards the year that Ichiro was a rookie, so I was going to try to break those and see if I could pronounce any of those names. I'm sure there's a couple of them that I won't pronounce right, but got to remember, Renee might be from Germany. I'm from West Virginia. You know, English is our second language as well. You know, we don't have very many U.S. drivers. They are all foreign drivers.
Rick, what the hell is going on? You haven't
I'm
sold
telling you.
anything.
These guys just want a history lesson, I guess.
You haven't. You have 18 people here. Nobody interacts with you. They all
Nobody's
hate
talking,
you.
Man,
They're all terrible.
I gotta go back to baseball, I guess. I can sell NASCAR.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay. Like I said, the interaction on Fanatics is a little bit tougher, but you did really good actually, Squidward.
Yeah.
You kept it positive. That was a test, boys. I know you guys wouldn't talk him. You wouldn't give him no love. You wouldn't make it easy for the old guy.
Gordon fan, there's very few autos in the F1 packs. They're like one in every probably box and a half, maybe 2 boxes. Out of a case, I think I haven't seen 5 or 6 autos. But it's in Formula One, it really is the color and the numbers. See that number?
So
Look at that number.
yeah, I did see it. So wrong label. So the way you want to label this, because so people will buy different boxes, right? So you pay attention. Actually, this says box 1, but you know it's pack, right? So you want to make sure you find the pack, and then so for our shipping department, you go pack number 1, and then you can just do Bargain Hunters. So we went to username.
Hey, Snapping Style. Hey, Gordon Jr.
Now we talking. Oh, this is Shaolin style. He's one of our other app guys. So you always want to put it on the pack one. I mean, obviously this is just going to me. I ate shit on that one, right? But I hit on this one. Huh?
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, I gotta look. That is a short print. The Michael Schumacher. I gotta look. That is a short print. Not real short, but.
That's okay. So, no, you did good. You kept positive because, like I said, one of the tough things in Fanatics still, chat is not as interactive as we used to.
No, Junior, what'd you pull?
But you kept it positive. You kept on talking. So, talking to yourself can be hard. Yeah, Shrika helped a lot. That was good. I'm going to rip it off. So, another thing I noticed, when you rip, a lot of times, like, you were just watching over here, so your cards were like this. You want to make sure. So, I'm kind of getting to the tendency where a lot of times I just keep I'll actually watch on the screen instead of my hand.
Yeah.
So because what we have to do, right, with the camera angle, and all this stuff is just experience, so don't worry about it, okay? So usually what I do, I will write my label first, so I have my label here, team bag it, and then I watch it here, and if something gets really close, so once you open it and the camera sees it, then you can always look a little bit closer if you need to. But I kind of watch it like this first, and then we want to make sure we'll keep the rip on here. So see how we just kind of, like I just watch it there so we kind of see how it's on camera. We have something in here. Max Verstappen.
Supermax.
Max Verstappen. Nico Hulkenberg. What about the L? We're not going to pronounce the L?
He doesn't.
Hulkenberg, okay.
I heard him talking the other day and he doesn't pronounce the L. So you're German, do you? Isn't that German?
In the back, Carlos Sainz on the refractor. How do we feel about that? Ferrari.
He's the one who just had the appendix go this week.
Oh, you know, for some reason I thought I had a die cut, but there's no die cut. Never mind. And a Brett Benavides. That silver's not bad, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, you know.
No, the names are easier to pronounce.
Yeah. So yeah, so just like have to, I'm trying to keep them on camera. You know, also what you can do, I mean, with these a little bit different, I just kind of go through them, but you could pick them up one by one, but don't need to. So Gordon fan did not pop your cherry. He wouldn't buy a single pack from you?
Yeah. He's a NASCAR guy. He don't like that Formula 1 stuff. Yeah, he does.
He did not buy a pack from you. We're actually cheap. I checked the app. Everyone else is $260 hobby bucks, yeah, $255, $260.
They are.
So, but I mean, the problem is, so they had Dynasty. They had the.
They delivered their products. NASCAR did it too. They get us. We're a smaller group of collectors, and they hit us with 3 new products in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, they also had Sci-Fi, and we just don't have that clientele yet. But we'll do more shows. We'll keep it in. I think we're gonna sign you off now. I have to film that coin video. I think I'm gonna have you go on the other thing, and just hopefully let's see if I just want to see if anybody buys it over there. So if not, I mean, this is the first year back for Topps Chrome phone. Oh no, it's not.
No.
I would
and
think.
I'll tell you what, I had 100 guys ask me for it this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's
I
good.
was floored how many guys were asking for it. I'm like, geez, why do I even bring my NASCAR?
Oh, I don't care to just sell that. We'll have it in the store, right?
Yep.
So, but no, that was good. I just wanted you to see it into action. So Shrika helped you. That was good. But we'll do more baseball here. So we did a nice break earlier, boys. Make sure to like it. We'll be back. I might go live in a couple hours on here again. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I don't know. Do personal boxes or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. What am
I know Gordon fan. I'm working it. That's so there are a couple guys that are starting to sell Prism NASCAR on the site.
On here?
Yeah.
And have people buying it?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Just by driver or?
See, I would still rather do. I don't want to do driver breaks. I don't know. Because it is more sorting, but then again, there ain't that many drivers. I like selling it by the packs or the box.
For the boxes, okay.
And just being, Gordon fan. What do you think? I mean, I like, I'm into breaks all the time, but I really do get kind of tired of breaks.
Why? Because if you skunk, you don't like that?
Well, yeah, but I get the same. So we more, in baseball you team collect. NASCAR, you really driver collect.
Yeah.
So if I'm only buying 2 drivers and I'm buying them in 20 cases, you wouldn't believe how much base I end up with.
Oh, okay.
So just to try to get those few cards. So, I like the opportunity, and we don't see a lot of guys with NASCAR for Percy boxes or packs. Because the best money, that's the best money is to break your break.
Oh, a team break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more I can break down, the more spots I can have, the more I can make off a box. So, in NASCAR,
It's like dealing drugs, basically.
Man, we got 130 spots in a NASCAR break.
Really? Because of the drivers?
You guys will sit here, because we'll put 3 different series of drivers in there. So we've got ARCA drivers, we've got truck drivers, we got Xfinity drivers.
Shrika knows.
Could be 70 plus spots. That's Gordon. I mean, it really is, isn't it? So it's really easy to get skunked on a, not even that great a pick on National Treasures. That's why I don't ever want to do team or break down National Treasures. You got to do it at hit draft so somebody gets something.
Yeah.
When you start trying to do it, you got 24 cards and you got 100 spots. You already know there's 70 people who's not going to get a card.
Yeah, that's tough.
And a lot of now that the guys have started doing these dual autographs and these really limited pieces, don't put those in. Just randomize them to your customers afterwards. But a dual spot that's going to come out 1 in a million times, and you sell that every week at $40, pushes your customers out. So
interesting, very sexy.
But I'm surprised that number's so hard to see on that gold card.
No, that was hard to see.
50 is hard to see. Yeah, and but it's at the same time, boy, if you bought that dual spot and you hit that thing, I mean, I actually did hit a dual in a prime box.
Oh, really?
So I had just bought one of the drivers. The guy hadn't sold the duals.
Oh, it's funny. You separate the duels. Like, so in baseball, we just have a duel. We duck race between the 2 teams.
Right, so they'll actually sell the dual spot.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then sometimes you'll see the guys will sell the dual spot. And you'll be so there'll be 2 drivers on the dual. Those drivers sell, but then they'll have a dual spot. So I've always wondered what's going to happen when I hit that big duel that I bought that driver of, and it goes to somebody else. That's just very interesting.
That's crazy. All right, guys, we're gonna shut off here.
Yeah.
This was just an experiment to have Rick to be on camera for a little bit. I really didn't expect to sell anything to stream, which is fine.
I saw that, Junior. I saw you sell that night. Junior sold a dual autograph for $1,000 one night.
Well,
that had already hit.
I think we're gonna try the other thing just to see how Formula 1 goes, and I need to shoot this coin video. Guys, we're gonna be streaming a lot more on Fanatics Live. This was not bad. You heard me get a free curse.